My name's John Bau, and I'm the Director of Career Development for the School of Engineering at Quinnipiac University. Thanks for joining us today in our first ever live webcast to discuss career development topics with some of our engineering students. As the Director of Career Development within the QU School of Engineering, it's my job to really help these amazing engineering students with all their skills and talents be able to project that out to the world. They do the work, I help them talk about it, and help them sort out what comes next. Joining me today are two of my juniors who are in the thick of their internship searches. I've got Chase Briggs and Megan Donnelly, and I'm going to let each of them introduce themselves and talk a little bit more about themselves. Chase, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so my name's Chase. I'm a junior mechanical engineer at Quinnipiac, and I'm currently looking for an internship.
Is that a plea, just in case anyone out there?
Yeah. You never know.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm a junior industrial engineer from New Jersey, and like Chase, I'm also in the brink of my internship search.
So I'll start questions with you, Megan. Industrial engineering. Mm-hmm. What is that, and how did you choose that as your major?
So industrial engineering focuses on optimizing different processes, whether it's like manufacturing, healthcare, supply chain, and making them the most efficient and effective they can be with data analysis, with different techniques that we learned through class. So what drew me to industrial engineering was the fact that I can work with people and help impact their lives and make them better.
Sure.
And just help them out, like help their companies out, whether it's making their processes more effective or it's cost analysis and saving them money. But
so this was something you knew about and you came in as an industrial engineering student?
I did not. I actually came in as an undeclared engineer, which is something that the School of Engineering offers, is to be in the School of Engineering accepted, but not have a certain discipline under your name.
Gotcha.
So you just come in, you just very open-minded. You take the World of an Engineer course, which is the first course you take as an engineer at Quinnipiac. And it just offers a different outlook on each of the disciplines. So you learn about the disciplines offered here, so mechanical, software, civil, and industrial, as well as some computer science later on. But being able to work with those, learn basic concepts of them, and then to project on all of them, and then kind of wrap that all into how it approaches like the grand challenges which faces the world of engineers every day. Gotcha. And how to tackle those.
Very good.
Not necessarily solve them, but just how to approach them.
Sure. So that was once you got here.
Yes.
Now, Chase, your journey was a little different. You came in knowing you were going to be mechanical engineering.
Right.
And you had some previous schooling as well. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so I went to a school and got my associate's degree, a 2-year degree beforehand, and then I knew I actually wanted to come to Quinnipiac when I graduated high school, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be in mechanical engineering, so I came in declared.
As a mechanical engineer?
Right, yeah, correct.
Gotcha. And so I know that although you're a junior, you've worked previously, and I know you've had experience as well. For students considering Quinnipiac and the families looking at the university, all of our computer science and engineering students are required to complete a professional experience during their time with us. Often it's during the junior summer, but each of you have met that requirement already. Chase, what did you do last summer?
So I worked with a company that made tools that stripped power lines for like big power lines, and I made the stands to test the tools cyclically to like 20,000 cycles to see if they would be able to withstand that much stress and strain in the field when the operators are using them.
So you were just, building machines all summer? Or?
Yeah, so it was like half and half. So I would be on the computer, I would design the stand that I was going to make, and then I would go and make it, test the tool, take data from it, input the data into a computer, and then write a report and actually give that report to the engineers.
So all through the steps, you would design, build,
Right.
test, and then report on that
Correct.
later.
Yep.
Excellent. And then how did you end up landing that opportunity?
I was actually a friend of a friend, which is nice.
Yeah. So another pitch out there. Everybody knows an engineer. Let us know you have internships, and we'll pass them along. Now, Megan, your experience last summer was a little different. You were on campus.
Yeah, so last summer, my professor emailed us and asked us if we were interested in doing research with him and if we were to come see him in his office. So I walked in and I was like, what's this internship, like research you have going on? And he said, so I have research that I'm doing right now with a few other professors, and it's shortest path routing and engineering transportation.
Shortest path routing and engineering transportation.
Yes, very long. It's a mouthful.
Does it say that on your resume?
It does.
That's a long line.
It is a very long line. And so basically we just take what distances from point A to point B says online, and actually go through and calculate them, whether it's the inner lane, the outer lane, how many lanes there are, like if it's like a highway, and going through it and seeing what our results look like compared against the computer results.
Sure.
And so just kind of going about that. So I worked on that with my professor and another student, but we were lucky enough, so we did more work at home rather than on campus, but it was nice being able to have that opportunity presented.
Gotcha. So as I was mentioning, all students are required to have that professional development experience. And at Quinnipiac University, we really try to set up a scaffolding. They're going to help students succeed and give them the tools to get there, whether it's this exposing students to the world of an engineer through coursework. We provide a database of employers and internship opportunities that students can review, career fairs, and there is a required professional development course in the first semester of your junior year, is that right?
Yep.
And this is for all of our computer science and engineering students. Chase, you took that course last semester, right?
I did, yes.
So what was a big takeaway or maybe even a painful lesson that you learned in that course?
So one of the requirements is to do an elevator pitch, and as much as it wasn't the most fun, it was definitely the most informative and definitely the most helpful.
So what is an elevator pitch? How have you used
Yeah,
that?
so an elevator pitch is basically when there's a career fair or you're going to talk to an employer, and it's like the first 30 seconds to a minute that you basically pitch yourself, what you are, who you are, and what you do, and basically why you deserve their attention.
Gotcha. And so that was helpful?
It was, yes. Yeah.
A little outside your comfort zone. Maybe.
Yeah, at first it was, but the more you do it, the more you get used to it, and it's not a big deal anymore, honestly.
Right. I know that a week ago we hosted our spring business and engineering career fair. Where did you try out that elevator pitch last week?
So Electric Boat was there, and also Lockheed Martin was there, and John had helped me set that up, and it was pretty easy talking to the both of them by the end of it.
I know, sometimes it's helpful. Oftentimes we have even QU alumni who
Yep.
come back and
Correct,
represent
yeah.
firms at the fairs. Megan, that professional development course, $395, what did you take away from that?
How to set up my resume that gets all my information across, contact information, experience, course projects, and being able to present myself on a sheet of paper. And then as well as thank you letters. So when the professor that taught the course basically said, when you write a thank you letter after you interview, employers really appreciate that. So he showed us how to format it, what to put into it, how to make it sound professional, and very appreciative that they took the time out of their day to interview you or just talk to you. And so taking that away, it really definitely helped and showed that just a simple thank you to people goes a long way.
Gotcha. Now I know both of you are in the thick of your searches right now, but you're actively engaging with employers. You have things going on. What are you doing right now, Megan?
So right now, as like you said, I'm in the heavy heart of my search. Been talking to employers, had a few interviews with them, still searching and applying, but coming to your office and being able to have you sit down with me and really just kind of look at what we can work with, whether it's back at home, whether it's up here,
Sure.
and just kind of figure out how to go about it.
I'm going to put Megan on the spot as an interview tomorrow, so send her some good wishes.
Thank you.
Chase, can you talk a little bit about what you're doing right now?
Yeah, sure. So like Megan had said, John is helping out so much. He's actually gotten me 2 interviews, and I'm currently talking to 8 companies from John's help. So I'm hoping the best. We'll see what happens, but you got to take it by ear.
So a lot of what we do in one-on-one coaching, quite frankly, is just helping students use tools that already exist, whether it's leaning on networks of employers who have come here in the past or leveraging wide resources like LinkedIn to identify engineers and human resource professionals out there that we can reflect. So I know that as you're planning what you're doing now and you're thinking ahead, take a second to look back on your experiences before coming in and think about advice you might want to give to future Bobcats. Before we do that, I just want to encourage whoever might be watching, by all means, please send in your questions. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any additional thoughts or things you really want to know, we're here. We want to tell you the way it is. Absolutely. In fact, I'll even check. Do we have anyone? Well, one more note for folks. As we go through today, again, send those questions in, and this will be recorded. People can catch up later, and there are ways you can reach out through admissions or through the School of Engineering if you want to get those questions answered. So briefly, Chase, looking back on what you've done so far, and we have folks from the, class of 2022, 23, future Bobcats. What would be your advice for students coming in down the road?
So unlike me, I would say don't feel rushed into anything. Take your time. It's okay to come in undeclared. Just make sure you know and you get as much experience in each subject to know what you actually are interested in and what you think you would want to do.
How about you?
So going off of what Chase said, take your time. It's about what you're passionate about and what you want to be doing later on in life. And then just take all the time and opportunities that you can do as soon as you can, just to expose yourself to those opportunities out in the real world and in the workforce, and just so you have an idea of what you can do and what you're interested in, rather than having to figure out that on after graduation.
So one of the points of our conversation today is really the learning that takes place outside the classroom and how that can shape the future. Megan, do you have any engineering-oriented clubs or anything in which you engage that helps inform what you might want to do later?
Yeah, so I am actually currently the president of Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineers here at Quinnipiac.
Okay.
Also another mouthful, but we use IISE, so if I refer to IISE, it's my engineering club.
Gotcha.
And so what we do is we help students focus on educational stuff. So if it's resume, if it's building an e-portfolio to show employers later on with all of our course projects. And so we focus more professionally. We bring in guest speakers to talk about their experiences in the world.
Gotcha. I have a question that came in from online specifically for you, Chase. What is the hardest part of doing mechanical engineering?
Personally, for me, the math, honestly. Yeah, math has just never fully clicked for me, but I love being able to use the math to actually figure something out, and the cool part is it's majority of the time it's tangible, so you can actually see what you're doing and the outcome from start to finish.
So it's getting comfortable with the math but using it towards a desired purpose.
Correct, yeah.
Gotcha. Following up on the previous question about campus engagement, there was a club you're in that's not specifically academic, but it's sort of, was it the car club?
Yeah, the QU car club, yep. Yeah.
So that's an interest?
Yeah, it's just, it's a good time. You can hang out with a bunch of people that are interested in cars and basically just talk about car stuff. That's kind of what we do.
A mechanical engineer who likes his car, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Who would have thought?
So as we come toward the end of our time, I encourage folks who are watching to certainly subscribe to the QU YouTube channel. Look us up online or multiple social media platforms, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. And as you go through this journey, ask a lot of questions. There are opportunities to do well at many colleges and universities. At Quinnipiac, I think it's this high-touch process that can make the difference. Before we go, thinking about the next steps and where you're headed, are any of you thinking about graduate school? Do you want to go straight to the workforce? Where are you there?
So I was recently accepted to Quinnipiac's 4+1 BS MBA program.
Mm-hmm.
So with what that is basically you can get a degree, and your Bachelor of Science degree or your Bachelor's of Arts degree, and you can apply for the School of Business to get an MBA afterwards. So I applied, and now I'm going to stay here for next year.
So you get one more internship search after this summer.
Yes, one more internship search after the summer.
Chase, what are you thinking? Are you looking at graduate school right now, or what are your plans?
Currently, I'm not looking at graduate school. I think that's something that I'm going to do at nights afterwards, once I hopefully have a full-time job. So
you're looking forward to not being in school?
Yeah, I've been in school long enough, I think.
I got you. I have to confess, I love working at the campus. It's nice to not have homework.
Yeah.
But again, thanks to everybody who's had the opportunity to tune in today, or if you're watching this after the fact, we're pleased you were able to tune in. And be sure to stay tuned in to the Quinnipiac YouTube channel for more information. Thanks for joining us.